If you guys follow her on Instagram, she did this look. It's gorgeous, it's so unique. I've never seen anything like this, so I wanted to recreate this today, and I just think it's super stunning on her, so I tried to do it on myself, and I really love the way it came out, so if you like then just keep on watching. So for primer today, I am going to be using the NYX Born to Glow Illuminating Primer, and this is very glowy. It's so pretty under foundation, and I'm just going to be applying this with my fingertips. To moisturize my skin even further, I'm going to be spraying on the Pixi by Petra Hydrating Milky Mist, and this is a mist-on moisturizer. So I'm just going to go in and spray around, and it actually feels really, really good. So for foundation today, I'm using the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, and you guys probably see me using the Makeup Forever stick a lot, and what I can say about these two is this one is a little bit drier on me than the Makeup Forever stick. The Makeup Forever stick is super dewy and it's very luminous. This one is a little bit more matte, but it's still really nice and it's very comparable, I would say. It has really great coverage just like the Makeup Forever stick, but I still think the Makeup Forever stick is my favorite, although this one is a really great foundation. So for concealer today, I'm trying something new. I'm not using the Tarte Shape Tape today, which is like my staple concealer I've been using every single day. I'm actually going to be using the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream in L5 Neutral, and this is a perfect shade because it's not too yellow. I first picked up L3, and L3 was so yellow on me, so the shade matches me so much better, and I really like the consistency of this. It's very, very full coverage. It stays on really, really good. It has really long wear to it, and it's very matte, and I just feel like this color is perfect for concealing and also highlighting. And then blending out with a beauty blender. And then to lock all of that concealer in, I'm going to go in with a translucent powder, and this is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. So next I'm going to set my whole face using a foundation powder, and today I'm using my fave, which is the Urban Decay Ultra Definition Foundation Powder in Light Warm, and I'm using this on a Morphe E41 brush. So for brows today, I'm using my favorite pomade right now. I just love it so much. This is the Benefit Cosmetics Ka-Brow in number 5. So I just like to go in and create that arch. I have an arch, but my hairs are a little sparse, and they're definitely not as dark as my hair, so I always go in with a much darker color when I am filling in my brows. So once I fill in the tail end, I like to come to the front and just take the excess product that's already on the brush, because you really don't need that much of this stuff. It's super pigmented, and I'm just going to flick my brush up and just kind of define those hairs that are in the front of my brow area. And now I'm just going in with some concealer. Face is partly done. We're gonna come back to it a little bit later and work on these Zendaya eyes. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is prime your lids to make sure that shadow shows up and stays on. Here, starting with the wing, we're going to create one using a black eyeshadow from the Morphe 35B palette. I'm using an angled brush to apply, and after you create your wing, just go ahead and fill that wing in. Next, I'm going to start creating this gradient effect by applying a dark blue eyeshadow right up against the black shadow. This one is called Dahlia, and it is from the Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place. To cut the lid, I'm going to use Tarte Cosmetics Shape Tape Concealer in Fair. This is going to make the lid color appear brighter and way more pigmented than without. Apply this directly to your eyelid only. I'm applying NYX's Face and Body Glitter in Blue Sapphire and pressing this up against the lid and only in the dark blue eyeshadow area. This is going to add some subtle shimmer to this eye look. To start cutting that crease, use a small brush and a light purple shadow from the Morphe 35B palette, following the shape of your eyes and creating curvature where it's needed. I followed along the shape from the Morphe 35B palette. I'm going to be creating a dark shadow underneath all of that blend work we have just created. To highlight the inner corner, I'm using Kat Von D's Metal Crush eyeshadow in Thunderstruck. For the waterline, I'm using the Makeup Geek liner in Ocean. To smoke out that lower lash line, I'm using a small pencil brush and the light purple shade from the Morphe 35B palette. To create the lower lash line wing, I'm using a small detail brush and the dark purple shade from the Morphe 35B palette. I'm just creating a wing that goes out and also follows upward. They are by Flutter Lashes in the style Intoxicating. To finish off the Zendaya eye look, apply some mascara to your bottom lashes. Alright, so to warm up the skin today, I'm going to be using the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit on a Morphe E2 brush. So I just dipped into the bronzer, and I'm going to go in and start warming up my skin. And I'm just taking this along the forehead, very close to my hairline, because this is going to minimize towards my ear. I just like to bring it right to the front of my cheek. And next, using the same bronzer, I'm gonna go in and contour my nose. I just like to go right in and start at the bridge of my nose, and I work this up to my eyebrow. And then I start to drag this down my nose all the way to the tip, and I do the same thing with the other side as well. And next I'm gonna dip into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm gonna take this really light shade here on this small brush, and I'm gonna go in just kind of sitting on your nose. So now for blush, I'm gonna take my Morphe 9N blush palette, and this is all nude blushes in this palette, which I really love because these go with everything, but I brush off before you apply. Next, I'm just gonna go in and put some blush on those cheeks, and I like to focus this on the apples of my cheeks and bring it back towards my contour and bronzer. So for highlight today, I am using this Makeup Geek highlighting palette, and this is the Kathleen Lights highlighter palette. This is her collab with Makeup Geek, and it's so beautiful, and I'm gonna be using this pink one today because I feel like this is just so pretty. But on the other hand, I might mix these two because that looks pretty nice. So I always like to spray my brush first before I apply my highlight, and I'm using this Cinema Secret. Is the highlighters in here are so finely milled that they're not dusty and they're not chunky. So now I'm gonna take this pink one in the middle, and I'm gonna be applying this to the bridge of my nose. And I always just like to go in with my finger because a brush just goes everywhere. So I just like to use just the base of my finger to apply that highlighter. Alright, so to clean everything up, I am going in with the Maybelline Shine Free Powder in Light, more dense than a pink one. And I'm just going in and just cutting that cheek. And I'm also going to bring this up around my mouth. Perfect time to let this sit. So now I'm just gonna go in and brush away all of the powder. And as you can see, it cleans up. In Naked, it is such a beautiful, beautiful shade, and it's very, very nude, and I feel like it looks really good with this look because we already have our eyes done like Zendaya, so we definitely want something nude like what she was wearing. So I'm gonna apply this, and this lipstick has to be one of my all-time favorite nudes. It's so, so pretty. Now I'm gonna go right over top of the lips with this Brilliant Shine Lip Gloss by Milani, and this is a very nude, shimmery color. It's so